Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. I am Cher. So today I have kind of an odd video for you. Mostly it's odd because it's going to be in two parts. I'll explain in a minute. Basically, I'm going to be sharing my Ulta Semi-Annual Sale Haul with you. But as I said, it will be in two parts. There was a little snafu that happened with my second order. So we're going to talk about it, and I figure we're going to go through and I'm going to share all the goodies I picked up on a couple of days of the sale. And we're also going to do a few try-ons to test a couple of the products out. So if it interests you, hop on along here, stick around, and we will hop right on in. Okay, guys, so as I said, a little snafu. And so here's a little backstory real quick. You may have seen I've already got a video out there where I was sharing some of the changes that were happening on the sale this year, and I shared with you like what was in my cart already. But that was for just the week one because we were only able to see like those week one items. So since then they dropped a few more, and now we've had all of them. But I had kind of looked in my main 2 days. I went ahead and made my orders on those 2 days. Well, my first order came, and I was going to wait and do one big video of everything, but my second order ended up in Texas, and I live in Florida. I do not know how it happened. Somehow Texas ended up in the Ulta account. Yeah, an old like Texas address that was not mine. Okay, so anyway, long story short, my order went out to Texas. So big mess. Now, the good thing is that Ulta was very good, and they did fix everything, and they went ahead. They ended up having to cancel the order and then reorder it for me, and then apply the discounts from that day of the sale again. So they've kind of gotten it resolved for me since then. But what happened was I went ahead and I had filmed the first part, like that first order that came, thinking that it'd be a while before I saw the second order. So I actually have a video up on my channel right now, scheduled to post for you guys. But I have like several other videos that need to go up first that are priorities that have kind of started dropping along the way. So I thought, now that my second order has come and has gotten resolved, why don't I just go ahead and still combine that one big video like I had originally planned? Long story, I'm sorry. But basically, what you're going to be seeing is 2 different outfit changes from me because I've already filmed order number 1. We're going to go through order number 2, and we're going to put it all in one video, if that makes sense. All right, so let's get started. So I'm going to go ahead today, and this is part of why I'm looking like a hot mess, is I don't have a lot of makeup on because we're going to test out a little bit of makeup. And I'm going to show you what was in order number 2. And then we'll go backwards and you'll see the original video from order number 1. Sorry for the big mess, but that's how we're going to do it. So this segment was for the day that was March 17th. I believe it was St. Patrick's Day, and it was a great ABH sale. And I did post in my community tab about it, so you might have seen that. But I also got my IT Cosmetics brushes. So I've got the Airbrush Full Coverage Complexion Brush, and this is number 77. I love IT Cosmetics brushes. I mean, maybe not all of them. When it comes to my eyeshadow brushes, I'm actually extremely picky. And I've got my favorite eyeshadow brushes, to be honest with you, is the Jaclyn Hill Morphe collab, like her eyeshadow sets. I buy those, and I don't know if they're available now that she's gone out of business. I need to look and see if I can still stock up on a whole bunch of them, but I use all of those on clients. They're my favorite. But for face products, oh, I love IT Cosmetics and I love Sigma. Those are like my top 2. If I can get this open. So this is going to be a foundation brush for sure. And I haven't decided if I'm going to put it in my client kit or if I'm just going to keep it for myself. But it'll probably go in my client kit, and sometimes I borrow from my client kit and then sanitize and put it back. So anyway, very nice one. Ooh, I love that finish on it. So yes, love that. I tend to really like that flat style, like almost like kabuki style for a foundation finish. It's good for like buffing it onto the skin. And then I also got this one, which is the airbrush smoothing foundation one. So many different foundation brushes that they have and that are all out there. And sometimes it just depends on what you're doing with your foundation as to which one you pick. I tend to really love to apply foundation and buff it with those types of brushes like I just showed you. This one is a little better for, well, like it says, smoothing. So if you want to kind of rub it on more, it can even be good for applying like serums or what have you. Like I just find it kind of multi-use on these. Finally got it out. Jeez. But yes, I love them. They're so sturdy. Everything about it. So the fact that these were half off, I was excited. I was going to load up on a bunch of them, but I decided that the ABH took preference and I had been spending a lot already. ABH haul here. So we'll start with, so I'm going to tell you guys, ABH is one of my favorite brands ever. It's my luxe brand, my bougie brand, one of my bougie brands. It's just like, it's so like perfect for makeup artists, but it's just, the lip formula is unmatched for me. This is probably my favorite lip formula so far. All right, so I picked up a lip liner, and this is in the shade Malt. I'm going to swatch all the Lippies today for you, and maybe we'll try at least one of the combinations on my lips when I have no makeup on. So that's Malt. Okay, and then we have another lip liner. This is in the shade Raisin. So I needed some darker ones. There we are. So the Raisin is great for like the wine colors, you know. So those were kind of my needs where I needed to fill in shades and lip liners. Then I have a couple of lip sticks. These are not the liquid ones. These are their, you know, regular bullet formula that I absolutely love. This is the shade Tease. I always love the luxe packaging on Anastasia Beverly Hills. And that first glide, oh. There is Tease. Love that. It's kind of like a pinky. I mean, you can just never have enough of these pink shades. Then we have Dusty Rose. Now I have Dusty Rose in like everything else. The lip liner. Do I have a liquid gloss from there? I think, but I didn't have the lipstick. So I was like, let's throw it on there because it is like one of my favorite shades and all the others. It's just such a perfect color. And there it is swatched. And then I got a lip gloss. I'm not really a huge liquid lipstick person unless it's like, I'm doing like a really like bougie red lip, like really dark lip. Liquid lips tend to do a little better then, or like a staying power stain or true matte or something. But for the most part, I'm just not a liquid lip gal. I am much more of a creamy bullet with a lip gloss. That's kind of more me, and lip liner. So this gloss, which I love their gloss formulas too. This is the shade Deep Taupe. And I don't think I have this one. I was trying to come up with colors I didn't already have, and I have quite a few ABH that I was trying to grab the colors I didn't have, and of course there was a lot that were sold out too. So, I mean, I had it loaded with 20 different shades. It's a good thing everything was sold out, or I would have spent an ever-loving fortune. Let's do a try on real quick. Let's try, should we do Raisin? Trying to figure out what will go good together. Let's do Raisin with Dusty Rose and the lip gloss. How about that? All right, so let's try out Raisin. I'm gonna need I haven't like prepped my lips though, but just to see how the formula is. I love that first, you know, swatch on there. Very dark, but it's gonna be great for these like wine colored ones. Okay, now everything that I got today is for my personal use, not for my makeup kit. So I get to actually touch these Lippies and put them directly on my lips this time. So let's try the Dusty Rose with this. There she is. Obviously, the lips need a little moisture. We'll handle that with some gloss. Okay, so this was the Deep Taupe. I don't want to mix my colors too much, so I'm actually going to put some on my finger for now and just dab it in there. And then I'm going to take a second finger so I don't double dip. So I'm going to use the gloss for me too, but I just don't want to double dip in where it starts, you know how that does, it'll taint the color over time. So it will change the color if you mix them together. So here is the combo. Not the cleanest lip right now, but just to give you a feel for how the shade looks and how that combination of ABH looks. So I may have to do like a short or even a whole video of just all ABH lippies and like different combinations that I like to make with them. If y'all are interested in that, let me know. Okay, so now that we did at least like one try on of a lip combo, and to just give you a feel for the finish and all of that, let's move on to order number one. We're gonna go through my actual haul. There's a day that was really standing out for me. A lot of them that was kind of the Smashbox day. So I did pick up some Smashbox, but I also got some hair. There's a few things that were sold out, unfortunately. And then we also got MAC. So I thought, there's a few things I'll try on, but some of the hair stuff I'm not really going to try on camera. I just already know that I like it because I've done it before. I thought I'd just show you the haul, and then we're going to play with a couple of these things. But let's go through some of the hair stuff because the hair part is kind of ongoing. It's not really for a particular day, although this was on a particular day. But I picked up Olaplex. This is continuing, and it was like 2 for $43, I think. So I got the shampoo and the conditioner. I had just finished, if you saw my empties, I had just finished the Olaplex number 4 shampoo. I needed more, so I was like, well, while it's on sale, I'm gonna grab it. So that's the first thing that I got. And then, as I mentioned, this one, so this was one of the 50% offs. Eva NYC. I tried this hair mask in I think it was the Allure beauty box. And if you're new to my channel, I do a lot of beauty boxes here. It's a great way to try all the good stuff for a great price. It smells so good. Oh my goodness, it smells so bougie. I love it. Anyway, I had tried this. I was very skeptical about Eva NYC because the first thing I tried for them I hated. It was a shampoo that I think was too oily, or just was not right for my hair type, and I hated it. So I was like, ugh. But I decided, well, I'll give this another try, and sure enough, the hair mask showed up in my Allure box, and then I ended up absolutely loving that hair mask. So when I saw it was on sale for the 50% off, I got it. So this is the Therapy Session hair mask. So good stuff there. Okay, so that leaves us, this is not a very big haul, guys, because it's part 1, but since we're going to just use part of the time to play with it, I figured we'd still do it. So I ended up picking up 2 of the Smashbox primers. One is kind of just the original Photo Finish Smooth and Blur Primer. Smashbox primers are supposed to be amazing. And then I got this one, which is the Photo Finish Correct Anti-Redness Primer. And so I wanted to do this for folks, you know, since it kind of has a little bit of color correcting in there, folks that experience a lot of redness, that I would probably want to put that on their skin. So what we might do is I'm going to try out these primers on camera with you guys to test them out as my first impressions. And I may just put like one on one side of the face and one on the other to kind of showcase the difference and play around with them. So those were the next 2 items. And then the last thing I got was a MAC paint pot, which when they're on sale, you got to have it. A lot of the shades were sold out. But I was able to pick up Bare Study, if I can get it open. And here is what it looks like. That is a great shade that actually looks a lot like another one I use in bridal makeup that's a drugstore one, and I'll show y'all the dupe for it in a few minutes, and we'll compare them side by side, because there's another one I think it's by Revlon. No, Maybelline maybe. Anyway, I'll show it to you in a minute, but it might end up being the same exact shade. It might just be a dupe that I'll show you in a little bit. Anyway, so let's start playing with these. I did want to let you know, like the Eva NYC had that, a couple of leave-in conditioners also that were on sale, and they sold out like that. So I wasn't able to get those. I did have my eye on it, but I was able to get the hair mask instead. So now that you've seen the haul, let's start playing. So the Smashbox, so it's a clear cushiony gel that instantly melts into skin to erase pores and smooth out lines and uneven texture. Lightweight, oil-free, velvety smooth, glides on clear. Antioxidant blend of vitamins A and E, grapeseed extract, and green tea for all skin types. Now, I got this one because it's kind of the most generic, universal skin type, I think, just the original. And I usually go with more of an original one for myself. So yeah, that's what I got from me. There are all different types, and the types were on sale. I'm just going to put it on since I'm just doing this. Oh, what am I doing? I don't want to do it that side. We're going to do this side because we're only going to do one side with it. Ooh, yeah. So it is a very smooth texture, like gel-like. It's definitely more gel-like than some. I'm going to go ahead and apply this with my kabuki brush. Let's just see how it feels. Yeah. You know, to be honest with you, I mean, I know everybody raves about Smashbox primer. It feels pretty smooth, but that Lancome one I just tried the other day, the Pro Primer, was like a silk pillowcase across the face. And this one's not as smooth as that. It's definitely more gel-like. But, you know, it smooths on very nicely. I mean, this is definitely a top primer used by makeup artists. So now we'll use this one on the other side. This is the correcting one. And it's an anti-redness primer formulated with calming algae, rose, and mushroom. Balances the skin, boosts hydration, and protects against environmental stressors like pollution. So it's a green toned primer. So the idea behind it is it's color correcting. So with some of my lessons on color correcting with you guys, green tends to cancel out red. It's the opposite on the color wheel. And so if you want to hide like acne, red blemishes, you know, redness in the skin, flushed face, all of those things, you want to tend to use green correctors. And so it's a primer that kind of has that green tint built into it. So I don't really have a lot of that, but you can see these spots are more age spots on me. I don't have acne. But you know, my face looks almost a little flushed today over here. Do you see that? And my hair's a mess, sorry. So we can test it out a little bit and just see. Just get an idea of it. It's coming out green. Wow, that's cool. I like that idea. That is great. So you can buy primers that have, you know, all different color correcting built in. You can buy purple ones geared more towards like hyperpigmentation like me. You know, this one just happens to be more for those with the redness. And that's something I see more with clients. So I went ahead and got that one. So let's test it out and see what we think. Is it balancing out the red? Here's the side. There is a good bit of redness here, but we didn't put it on this side. Yeah, I don't feel like it. Here, let's move this down a little bit more over here where the redness was. So let me see if I can tell the difference in how it feels on the skin. So this side is definitely a lot smoother and silkier than this side. This one's a little drying, and I would expect that because even though I don't think it's like a mattifying primer, you do tend to see when they're trying to target like acne type redness, a lot of those people tend to, not always, but tend to have oilier skin. And so it doesn't tend to always be as luminous of a finish. I'm not crazy about this side as much. I feel like this would not be right for my skin. You may even want to do a color correcting one first and then a regular one. But they have these primers that are for like all kinds of skin types. And so that's what I was liking about it. And they were all on the sale. You had one that was the mattifying one that was more hydrating than your original that had like, I think it had hyaluronic acid built in. You had the redness one. You had one that was more of a glow for people that wanted more of a dewy glow, like highlighting glow. So they had all different ones. I thought about getting them all because I have all different client needs, but I kind of wanted to try these out first before I just loaded up. So, yeah, it definitely feels better over here. This one's much silkier and smoother, but would I rank it more silky and smooth than a couple of the ones I've recently tried? No, I wouldn't. I guess we'll see how the makeup looks with it in a minute. I'm going to try this one just on this red area here on my cheeks. Come in and kind of like, do y'all think it made a difference? I don't. I just wiped it all away. It might have made the slightest bit of a difference, but not much. Okay, I'm going to come in and I'm going to use this Dose of Colors foundation. It's not my favorite, but it's pretty good. 113 Light is the shade I'm using on myself. I'm just going to apply it straight on me instead of going for the spatula and everything. And we'll see how it all looks. Here is the foundation over it. I feel like my pores are really showing through here on this side. What about this side? Yeah, I've seen smoother finishes than this, to be honest with you. Keep in mind I have aging skin, and I like very hydrating, very silky primers with my dry skin. Now I think that, no, it's still coming through some. I did see a difference though, with that green, like a little bit, but you know, you can honestly do that with a color corrector. I'm also a huge believer that you let your foundation do the talking. I just love a full coverage foundation that like I barely even have to color correct anything. Even other people with all kinds of spots on them, that the foundation's just that good. So I don't know if I should have even bothered with a color correcting primer, but I wanted to try it. I think it does make a little difference on that redness. But I just don't know if I love the finish that much. I guess perhaps it holds up. I'm going to put on a little more makeup and I'll meet you back here for the MAC. So now to the MAC part. I wanted to show you what I'm thinking might be a dupe is the Maybelline Color Tattoo Front Runner. That is what it looks like. I use this in my bridal makeup sometimes. Where did our MAC go? Let's see if MAC looks just like it or not. The Front Runner might be a little more, slightly more gold leaning. I don't know. I almost wonder if I should do one on one eye and one on the other and see if we have a dupe or not. So let's get started. I'm going to pull out my spatula somewhere in here. Where'd my spatula go? Oh, I need a clean one. Hold on. I'm going to clean off a spatula and put this on a little mixing palette and we'll play with her. Here it is on my finger and I'm just going to put like a little pop kind of in the center of my eye. See how it does. So it just gives you that, like, you know, it's a creamy, highlighty, really beautiful for bridal makeup finish. I'm going to put it directly on the brush this time and pack it on a little more. Yeah, beautiful. It really does remind me, this is what I use all the time on that Front Runner one. That's really pretty. So this is the MAC. Let's try the Maybelline on the other eye. Apply it the same way on this eye. Okay, yeah. So this eye is definitely more gold. And it does not blend and spread at all as well. So the MAC wins. I'm going to go back and touch that back up on this side now with the MAC. Yeah. So no, I guess that's not really a true dupe. Definitely MAC paint pots win hands down over the Maybelline. Yeah. That's probably why, you know, sometimes when I use that Maybelline, I do struggle. It's hard to blend out. So that was probably why. Just gives you that pop, you know. The MAC paint pots, they're like a classic, used a lot in bridal makeup. But yes, love them. And they had all shades, but a lot of the shades were sold out. A lot of those pinky ones, they were the ones everybody was grabbing up, the pinky leaning ones. And so this is why I went more with this kind of gold one. It's not really gold. It's just, you know, your standard, like, kind of neutrally bronzy look you can do. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, here is a full face. I don't have on lashes because I didn't want to deal with them today. But just kind of gives you a feel for how you can play with these MAC paint pots and how I use them in bridal makeup all the time. So yeah, I like my look. And you know, I think the primer I rate as, you know, 7.5, 8 out of 10, maybe. Yeah, you know, love the paint pots for sure. All right, guys, so that wraps it up for both of my orders this time for the Ulta Semi-Annual Sale Haul. I hope that y'all enjoyed that, and I'm sorry that it was kind of weird with doing it in 2 parts and changing my mind about the format of the video, but you got to see everything in one video, and so I kind of like that. So anyway, make sure you're paying attention to the Sephora sale next. Woo-wee, all these sales are going to get us, aren't they? I'll try to cover that one, but it's coming up very quickly. So I may just have to cover it on my like to know page, just let you know the things I'm picking up. If I do pick things up on that sale, I'll definitely bring you a haul for that one as well. But anyway, if you like hauls and you like try-ons and reviews and all of that fun stuff, and you love some bougie beauty, you'll want to stick around the channel, pop that subscribe, turn the notification bells to on, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.